Welcome back, guys. In my last video, I gave you guys exercise in which I provided you with a list of things that I wanted you guys to conceptually draw out and show me how it would look on a drawing in regards to the AWS console. So I asked you guys to draw 2 availability zones, 2 subnets, 2 EC2 instances, all in one VPC. So here's your VPC, here are your 2 availability zones, here are your 2 subnets, and here are your 2 instances, which are also known as EC2 or the compute of AWS. So one thing that I said I was going to cover was an elastic load balancer, which is located inside the VPC. Right? And so think of an elastic load balancer as a seesaw, right? So if I have one person sitting on this side, I need to put a person on this side in order to balance it out, right? That's pretty much what an elastic load balancer is. So when we are dealing with an elastic load balancer, I'm going to show you guys an example of Netflix, right? We've all used Netflix. We all know someone who uses Netflix. Netflix is one of the, if not the #1 customer of AWS. When you're using Netflix on your console, you're actually going through the AWS service in order to access your movies or your shows. So with that being said, let's use Netflix as an example. So let's say you are at your house, right? And this is your TV, and you're looking to access a certain show, right? Let's say whatever show is your favorite show, you're trying to access it. So what happens is, in order to access that show, when you click on it, it actually goes here, and it basically, the elastic load balancer, basically what it does, it says, okay, which instance can handle this person's request to watch this show, right? So let's say you're the first person on Netflix and there's no one else on Netflix, right? Let's say you're the only person. It will direct it towards either instance, it doesn't matter. Let's just say it directs the traffic towards this instance. Okay, so what you're doing is you want to watch a show, you send a request, it goes through the elastic load balancer. The elastic load balancer asks, okay, which instance can handle this person's request without disrupting the traffic or disrupting the connection. And it picks an instance and it goes into that instance in order for you to watch your show. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. So let's say another person wants to watch a show. Right? Let's say another person hops on Netflix and they say, I want to watch that same show, right? Let's say it's your friend. You guys want to watch the show at the same time. So that person sends a request. Right? The elastic load balancer then says, okay, which one of these instances can handle this person's request without causing a disruption or disconnection? right? And since this person is already on this instance, most likely in order to balance the seesaw, it is going to send it to this instance to watch that same show. Okay, so there's one here, and then there's one here. Right, so you can see that it is balancing this seesaw as traffic continues to come in. So imagine if we amplified this by 1,000 or 1,000,000 people that are watching Netflix. You can imagine how big of a role an elastic load balancer plays in directing traffic from one EC2 instance to another EC2 instance. All right, so one thing you'll see when you log onto the AWS console is when you go to set up your elastic load balancer, you're gonna see a thing called listener, right? On your elastic load balancer. You're gonna see a thing called listener. And for example, may say 80. That means that it's listening. Your elastic load balancer is literally listening to port 80, which is HTTP. Any HTTP requests that are coming from these two people or any traffic, for example. So the elastic load balancer is literally, its job is to enhance fault tolerance. That's the key word, okay? So whenever you use elastic load balancer, it is used to enhance fault tolerance. And that's because, let's say that this subnet broke, right? Let's say this EC2 instance, there was a malfunction in the EC2 instance itself, and it broke. Let's say this person sent another request. It's going to direct that traffic to this one then. If this one is malfunctioned, the elastic load balancer will read it, that it's messed up, and that it's going to redirect it to the other EC2 instance in order to enhance fault tolerance and in order for you to watch a show without having any disruption. All right, so that's a little bit of an idea of what elastic load balancing is, what its function is, and how it acts in the whole grand scheme of the drawing that we had previously. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you.